Hi there, my name's Renico Lewis Brown, and I'm interviewing someone who lives in Luton. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Iwama Lewis. Nice to meet you.
I'm going to try and get a lot of information about someone's perspective of living in Luton. So tell me, how long have you been living in Luton for?
I've lived in Luton for about 12 and a half years now.
What area of Luton do you live in?
I live in Lee Grave in an area called Marsh Farm in Luton.
How how is the area?
Um, I find it a nice area. I don't find any problems, maybe quite a few, but other than that, I do like living here. It's a nice area. A lot of people don't think it's a nice area, but it actually is a lovely area.
Yeah, I agree. Marsh Farm is a little underrated.
It is, and that's because of people always assume that a lot of crime happens here, but not much does happen.
Yeah, I can sit on one of the benches in one of the parks in Marsh Farm during the early hours and nothing could happen to me.
Yeah, you're perfectly fine. I think it's just what it is in every area you will always find troublemakers. In Marsh Farm, we do have troublemakers, but as they are local, um, we know who they are. So whenever they do cause trouble, their parents are informed straight away because they are known. Other than that, I do find Marsh Farm to be a nice area. I have no issues with it. No big issues.
What do you think of the local residents?
I find them to be nice and polite. Um, I've met quite a few people living here over the years, so I have made a couple of friends living in Marsh Farm. Some of them have moved away. Actually, most of them have moved away. But then most of them did move back, so that's a good thing. Um, you'll meet some nice, cheerful people. Obviously, being as it is a community area, with local schools here, you do get other parents that will keep an eye on your children. So obviously, if something happens in the park and they see something wrong, they will speak up about it. That's what's nice about the residents around here. We do stick together when something bad does happen.
How easy do you find it to travel to the Luton town centre?
I find it quite easy. I don't find it very hard as we do have two buses, number 10 and the 27 that do run from here, that go straight into town. Probably takes about, depending on traffic, 20 to 30 minutes. That all depends on traffic. Also, there's Lee Grave train station, which is probably about a 15-minute walk away. You can get on a train there straight down to Luton Town Station. So I do find it quite easy to commute to the town centre.
Yeah, I ride my bike to the town centre
How long does that usually take you?
around half an hour.
Oh, okay.
My biggest complaint is as you're coming towards the town centre on the bike path that runs next to New Bedford Road,
Hmm.
the path is really bumpy.
Oh, so it would be nice if they could probably smoothen it out, make it a smoother ride for you, like, instead of it being bumpy.
Yeah, because I noticed that a lot of people on bikes pick the road instead
Oh, okay, they prefer the road surface.
because how smooth it is,
Hmm.
which shows that most towns focuses on cars in,
Yes,
instead of walking and cycling.
which is something they should focus on as well, because there are a lot of people that like to cycle. They just don't have safe places to cycle. I know they're starting to put in a few cycle lanes and everything, but it's all down to is it still safe? Hopefully, it will change.
Do you find do you find Luton expensive?
No. Um, Obviously, it's gotten more expensive than what it did when I moved here 12 and a half years ago, but I still don't find Luton to be very expensive. I mean, obviously, some people will say Luton is more expensive than other areas up north, but that is up north. As you go further up north, it does get cheaper and cheaper. Because obviously, Luton is a lot cheaper than London. But no, I don't find Luton expensive. I find the prices to be quite reasonable.
What What's your opinion on the town centre?
Mm, um, it's a nice area. Um, I would say I find it needs to be cleaned up a bit more. Um, but it is something they are working on. I assume. It's something they are working on, cleaning up town centre, making it a lot more neater. Um, Hopefully more police or security around the town centre. You'll find there's a lot of drunks around there, and well, I can't call them drug heads because well, they are, but I don't exactly know what they're on. So, but there's a lot of people around there you shouldn't mix with, and they tend to hang out and just make a mess, cause trouble, especially around where the fountain area is in town, outside, right outside the mall, between the mall and the Galaxy. I find there is a beautiful area. It's just obviously it does get packed up by a lot of people that probably shouldn't be there. Other than that, I find Luton quite nice. Luton Town Centre, I find it to be a nice area. A lot of mixture of shops. Nice few options of restaurants, so that's a good thing. It would be nice if they stopped closing the restaurants, um, and probably added more. So don't close them, but add more. It would be nice if we had a bigger variety of restaurants. We don't have such a big variety, but we do have a variety. I would like if we had a bigger variety.
What things don't you like about Luton?
I don't like the state of Luton. I find Luton to be very messy, very dirty. It would be nice if they could clean it up a bit more. Not just town, but other areas as well. Look into other areas. Um, I like that they did clean up Marsh Farm though. That area was a very dirty area, but they have cleaned it, and I do like that. It is looking a lot neater. They try to keep it clean. Um, it'd be nice if when it comes to stuff like the trees and the grass, maintenance maintenance was kept up because we're in autumn now. Leaves have fallen off trees and they're just all over the place. It would be nice if they probably raked it up on the pathway, kept a clear pathway, so we can see where we're walking and what exactly we're walking on. And that's something they don't tend to do. I think that's down to their budget cuts or something, but it would be nice if Luton could be a lot cleaner.
What things in Luton do you think needs to be improved?
Um, my first main thing would be housing. I think that definitely needs to be improved. They have a terrible system. I know from experience, but they have a terrible system when it comes to housing. I recently noticed there's a lot more Lutonians that are homeless, which is not nice. And it's like, well, you should be figuring out why these people are homeless and help them. Do your best to help them. It's like the council don't care. Um, they're hard to keep in contact. They're hard to reach. You can never reach anyone at the council. If they always tell you to phone, you can never reach them. You will be waiting for up to 45 minutes or more just for them to answer the phone. They do not answer the phone in the first half an hour, so it's disgusting that they don't do that. I find they don't do their job to look after Luton very well. I'm not sure if that comes down to the mayor, but I think a lot needs to change there.
Yeah,
Housing, the council, um, Well, I wouldn't even say housing is the biggest thing. I would say it has to be the council because they're the ones that, deal with housing. They're the ones that deal with the cleanup of Luton. I think the council is the biggest issue in Luton, and I think the changes need to start there.
Yeah, I heard that newer houses are a lot smaller than houses in the 20s.
Mm.
Houses over the time have been shrinking.
Yes, they tend to make them smaller now to fit people in it, but in order for them to build more, they're making them cheaper and smaller, which is not very good.
Yeah. 1920s houses, they were good. 1960s, they were okay. 1990s, they were okay as well. But houses today are a little too small.
Yeah, that and they're just made up of cardboard. They're like cardboard houses. You can hear everything your neighbours doing. The walls are not strong. The house alone isn't strong. The structure, I believe, isn't strong. And then it's so tiny, and they expect to squeeze so many people into such a small space. Yeah, it's not nice.
I think it's because the UK is a dense country and they're trying to discourage people from giving more birth, like having more children, by making more two-bedroom houses than three-bedroom ones.
They are, but then what they also need to understand is they did not put the British people before everybody else. There are a lot of British people who are homeless who can't actually get these new properties. Look, a whole load. Remember the shops, the shopping mall centre, the Pearly.
Yeah,
Do you remember the flats there?
yeah,
Remember they knocked down the flats and they built new ones. They haven't moved those back into Marsh Farm yet that want to actually come back. They gave them away to other people, and they were supposed to be promised to those who got their flats taken away when they knocked down the Pearly Centre. But they didn't move those people back at all. And those people have been waiting many years to come back to where they call home, the area they grew up in, the area they love. And they did not take into consideration that at all. They've moved a whole lot of new people in it and they haven't offered them back.
yeah. That would make me angry
Yeah, they
and,
tend to make empty promises.
and probably move to a different town or
Yeah,
city.
it would be like that. Yeah, there are reasons. People do get fed up with towns. At one point I was fed up with Luton and I wanted to move, but then I thought, what's the point? I was fed up with London and I left London to come to Luton. If I get fed up with Luton, like, where else is there to go? And every time I get fed up with an area or a town, am I going to leave? Which I can't keep doing. It costs a lot. So I think you just make it the best that you can. The areas you live in, the towns you live in. But it
Yeah,
would be nice if the government, the councils in all these areas got their act together.
yeah. This is the end of the interview. See you next time and goodbye.
Bye.